In the year 4000, Earth was a world transformed. Humanity was long gone, wiped out by a colossal asteroid that shattered civilization in an instant. The cities they built now lay in ruins, overtaken by wild nature. Skyscrapers had crumbled, highways were swallowed by the earth, and silence reigned where once there had been the hum of human life. But Earth was not empty. Deep beneath the frozen wastelands of Antarctica, something ancient stirred. For millennia they had slept, locked away in the ice, but now, with the climate change and the asteroid's impact cracking the ice sheets, they began to awaken. The first to emerge was a massive mutated Rex much larger than its prehistoric ancestor. Its scales shimmered in a rainbow of iridescent colors, from deep emerald greens to electric blues. This wasn't the Rex of legend. This creature had horns like a rhino and eyes that glowed with a soft red hue. With a mighty roar, it shook off the ice, stepping into a world that had forgotten it. Next came the Brontosaurus, but this was no gentle giant. It had evolved in the frozen tomb, now covered in thick silvery fur that gleamed under the Antarctic sun. Towering over the remains of human cities, its long neck swayed gently as it stepped carefully through the crumbled ruins, its fur blending with the snow-covered landscape. Flying above, the skies were filled with the shapes of mutated pterodactyls and quetzals. Their leathery wings were now vibrant with bright oranges and purples, like living sunsets gliding through the clouds. The quetzal, once known as the largest flying creature of the prehistoric world, had evolved into something even more majestic. Its wingspan was as wide as a football field, and its sharp beak-like snout was adorned with streaks of silver and gold. But the true giants were the titanosaurs. As tall as mountains, they rose from the ice like living fortresses. Their skin, once smooth and scaled, had hardened into rocky plates, almost like armor. These gentle behemoths were now equipped to survive in this new, harsher world. Some had tails with spikes, while others had developed massive club-like appendages for defense. Their eyes, soft and glowing, reflected a wisdom far beyond that of any creature alive today. On that first day of their emergence, the earth trembled under their weight. Creatures from a bygone age, mutated, evolved, and stronger than ever, began to roam the landscape again. From the depths of Antarctica, they travelled northward, exploring this new world that had once belonged to humans, but was now their domain. Though their appearances had changed, there was something timeless about their presence, as if the earth itself had been waiting for their return. They did not come to destroy, they came to reclaim. The world once dominated by humans now belonged to these creatures, nature's true survivors. And so began a new era on Earth, one not of machines or technology, but of giants, whose roars would echo through the canyons and whose footsteps would shape the future of the planet. Earth was wild again, and its new rulers had arrived. As the Antarctic sun cast its eerie glow over the desolate frozen continent, the newly emerged dinosaurs explored their surroundings. The Rex, now the size of a skyscraper, walked across the barren tundra, its thick armored tail dragging behind it, carving deep grooves in the ice. Its sharp reptilian eyes scanned the horizon, instinctively searching for food in this strange new world. But there was nothing, just ice, rock, and silence. Far above, the pterodactyls circled in the frigid air, their wings catching the wind as they rode the currents. Their brightly coloured feathers were unlike anything from their prehistoric ancestors, blending in with the strange, icy glow of Antarctica. They screeched, their cries echoing across the frozen wasteland, calling to one another as if communicating the beginning of something grand, something ancient. The titanosaurs moved slowly, their colossal forms cracking the thick ice beneath them with each step. The ground seemed to shake as they trudged forward, their rocky armor gleaming in the soft pale light. Despite their fearsome size, they were calm, methodical in their movements, as if they had always known they would one day return to this world. But something was strange about their awakening. As the creatures roamed across the ice, they began to sense it, more than just the pulse of the earth underfoot. It was as if the world itself was breathing, waiting. The same ice that had imprisoned them for so long still covered much of the earth. They could feel it beneath their feet, still harbouring secrets, still hiding what had yet to be revealed. Near the southernmost tip of Antarctica, a brontosaurus lowered its massive head to the ground, sniffing the air with a new kind of intelligence. It was drawn to a crack in the ice, an unnatural fissure created by the asteroid's impact long ago. The creature let out a low, rumbling sound, as if it could sense what lay beneath the frozen surface. Then it happened. With a thunderous roar, the ice shattered, sending chunks flying into the air. From the fissure rose a creature long thought lost to time. An enormous Spinosaurus, its spine towering above even the titanosaurs. But this Spinosaurus was unlike any from the past. Its scales glistened with frost, and its webbed feet were perfectly adapted for traversing the frozen plains and icy waters. It let out a cry that rattled the landscape, and the other creatures paused, acknowledging this new apex predator. The Spinosaurus wasted no time, plunging into the icy waters nearby, swimming with terrifying speed. Its mutated form made it an unstoppable force in this frozen realm, perfectly at home in both land and sea. As the day wore on, more and more dinosaurs began to emerge from the Antarctic ice. Quetzals, larger than before, with wings that reflected the northern lights, soared high above, scouting the land as though searching for others like them. Ankylosaurs, with thick, ice-coated shells, lumbered out from beneath glaciers, their tails equipped with enormous crystalline maces. These dinosaurs were survivors in every sense, forged in the harshest conditions imaginable. It became clear to the ancient beasts that Antarctica was just the beginning. The ice had been their tomb, but it was also a gateway. Beneath the glaciers of Greenland, the mountains of Patagonia, and the frozen rivers of Siberia, other prehistoric giants were stirring. The earth was vast, and in every corner where ice held its grip there were others like them, creatures from the past, mutated and evolved, waiting to emerge. Far off in the distance, across the icy expanse, a towering wall of ice stood. The Rex, its rainbow scales catching the light, let out a low growl. It knew deep within that beyond that wall lay the path to the wider world. And in that wider world, more creatures, maybe even greater than itself, were waiting to reclaim their place, like and subscribe to dino shows to see what happens next. The dinosaurs, now more than just ancient relics, were not alone. Across the globe, deep beneath the frozen surface, new forces were awakening. From every corner of the earth, the great beasts were coming, and the world was about to see a rebirth unlike any before. The age of man had ended, but the age of dinosaurs, mutated, vibrant and unstoppable, had just begun.